Hi everybody, this is going to be chapter 14 and I'm enjoying the book. I hope you are too. And the taping and combining the video and the tape is going very well. I hope to get a new video out there as background, and I hope you will enjoy. So I hope the video will be moving as well. Yes, sorry if you hear the clicking, but I'm getting it under the knee. Thank you so much for your understanding and your patience. Let's get down to chapter 14, and I hope to get one out every day. But the chapters are also getting longer. We end up in Bridley's, a sticky old cafe where a pot of tea for two is only €1 and a slice of apple tart is $2. It only has two kinds of customer, old people and arty types who are on the dole. We sit on a musty green sofa, the tinned apples sliding across my tongue. I read Othello and Fiona does Desdemona. It doesn't seem that great a part. If I'm honest, a lot of her thrashing around and saying that she would never be unfaithful. There's no denying it, though. Fiona is good. She does something with her voice, making it tremble in some places, making it stringent. In others, I hear her giddy voice. Yet I fear, for you are fatal, then, she says, grasping my hand. When your eyes roll so, why I should fear I know not, since. That's what Fiona is practicing on the play for Othello. She pinches the bridge of her nose again. Give me the line. Since guiltiness, since guiltiness, I know not, but yet, another nose pinch, but yet I feel. I prompt her, come on, you know this, but yet I feel love. No, come on, just give me the whole line. Fine, I say, standing up and gesturing with the sheets of paper. I put on a crazy theatrical voice, like a drunk Ian McKellen. Since guiltiness I know not, but yet I feel fear. Maeve, a voice comes from behind me, a voice that's all too recognizable. I turn around. Roo! We stare at each other, wordlessly, for a moment. He isn't in his school uniform either. He's wearing a scarlet bomber jacket that would almost look sporty if the collar wasn't leopard print. Hey, I say, how are you? Roo doesn't respond. He just blinks at me. It isn't until Fiona jumps up to shake his hand that he makes any move at all. Hi, you are Roo, right? I'm Fiona. I'm so sorry about what's going on with your sister. I'm sure you must be having a terrible time. Everything she says is technically correct and totally polite, but the way she's saying it is so rushed and maniac that it's only adding to the mounting pressure between us. But it does its job. It snaps Roo out of his shock and seeing me. He takes Fiona's hand for a quick shake, then drops it and turns back to me. Hey, not good, actually, he says. I'm not exactly sleeping very well, as you can probably imagine, and Mum spends her evenings crying so loudly that I've started doing my homework in here. But I see you've taken this too. Should have seen this coming. Roo, I'm so sorry about Lily, but you have to believe me that the tarot reading I gave her, Jesus, Maeve, He runs his hands through his hair, dark curls, and scrunches them tightly in his fist at the crown of his head. You think this is about your fecking tarot cards? You abandoned her, you were her only friend, and you knew she was vulnerable, and you left her wide open. Now there's some weirdo. His voice cracked at this. There are purple lines under his eyes, a spider web of anxiety on his pale skin. Now there is some weirdo who probably has my sister bundled into a van somewhere, doing God knows what to her. Do you know the stuff I've had to hear about in the last week? Have you ever had a total stranger in your house talking to your parents about sex trafficking? They went through her things, Maeve, her sketchbooks, her fantasy novels, trying to make out like she's a freak, just because she likes drawing, because she likes making stuff up. I suddenly remember Lily's sketchbooks, giant mechanical birds, steampunk piglets with cocks for noses, the most startling, creative stuff you can think of, and I haven't even seen them in a year. I can't imagine how amazing they are now. I'm sorry, Rue. I don't know what to say, except I'm sorry. I'm only her brother. What the hell was I supposed to do? You are not meant to be close to your sister, not at this age. I always thought we would come back together when we were older. That's how it's supposed to go. But now I'm never going to see her again because you had better people you want to be friends with. You will see her again, Rue. You will, I protested, my eyes filled with tears. What in the hell have I been playing at? Running around town with Fiona Buttersfield while Lily's life is in danger. But worse than that, he says, his voice harsh again, is that I thought we were friends, Maeve. I could have really used a friend, but I didn't hear a peep out of you. The school told me not to get in touch. I protested my parents too. They said not to talk to you, that you were going through enough. I wanted to call you, Rue. Honestly, I've been going out of my mind. Whatever, Maeve, I have to go and find somewhere else to study. He says, believe it or not, I still have a leaving cert this year, leaving certificate. It was not nice to meet you, Fiona. I'm screwing this up because I'm getting emotional about their friendship and about the story. Sorry. It was nice to meet you, Fiona, and with that he's gone. I sit back down, staring straight ahead. Maeve, Fiona says tentatively, he's just mad. He didn't mean that. No, he does, I say. He really, really does. I drop my face into my hands and start to cry. Fiona puts an arm around me, rubbing my back with her hand. She doesn't say much, which I'm grateful for. A new onslaught of snotty, soupy tears pours out of me whenever I order myself to stop. Sorry, I say through choked sobs. I'm sorry. You can go. Just leave. Pal, I'm not going to leave you here. Not after that. I deserved it though. Maybe he didn't have to go in on you though. Christ. I hope some coarse paper napkins. I hold some coarse paper napkins to my eyes, the cheap paper scratching at my skin. What happened between you and Lily? Fiona asks quietly. I bite my lip, trying to find the words, How can I explain how bad a friend I am to the first real friend I've made in years? We used to be best friends. We grew up together, but we had one of those intense, weird best friend relationships where things that were funny or interesting to us were weird and gross to other people. And when we were in the third year, I decided that I would rather be popular than be friends with Lily. And I started sort of cutting her off. Fiona doesn't say anything, just raises her eyebrows silently. Just, not inviting her to stuff, hoping that if I was just casually mean to her, she would get the hint and find some other people to be friends with. But she never did. So last year I trailed off. Is Fiona really ready to hear about what horrible person I actually am? Look, Fiona says, her arm still around me. I don't know why Lily is missing. I don't know if she's coming back. But whether she does or not, you can't beat yourself up to death over how you acted when you were 13. Yes, it is stupid and shallow, but once again, you were 13. I got nits when I was 13. Nits at 13, I say, mocked and horrified, still sniffling through tears. I squash the urge to correct her. Maybe I started distancing myself from Lily at 13, but I, I dealt the killing blow only a year ago at 15. There are girls in some countries who are married by 15. Hey, I'm not judging you, friend dumper, she nudges me. Or are you going to dump me now, too? Nah, I reply, nudging her back. You can stay. We leave Bridie sometime later. The dark February evening is already settling in. Navy as the school uniforms balled up in our bags. Fiona's arm is looped through mine, protective and strong. It's only 4:30, she says. Do you want to swing by the basement again? I saw the basket of weird earrings. I wouldn't mind going through. Sure, I say, and we turn through the cobbled side street until we are back at the crumbling behemoth of a shop. I don't know what that means. Behemoth of a shop. A funny shop, I think. The crumbling old shop, let me put it that way. Only this time we are not alone. Outside the shop is a throng of people, 40 at least, all shouting and holding signs up. Are you singing, Fiona? Asks, her ear cocked to the air. They are chanting, I reply, utterly dumbfounded. Each syllable punches through the air, falling into a hard, practiced rhythm. We inch closer, keeping our arms linked, our grip tightened on each other. We don't speak, keeping our ears trained on the crowd. Our morality is not for sale. Our morality is not for sale. And this kept on repeating, or being repeated. What in hell? Where did this come from? Is this? Yes, I agree. Before she even has the words out, I think it is. Those guys, those Americans, are they here? I stand on my tiptoes. I'm a good bit taller than Fiona, so I can see above their heads a little easier. I don't see the Americans. What I do notice is even more disturbing. Everybody here is our age. Yeah, she nods and look at the signs. I peer closer. They all say the basement and have a big X over the word clever. At the front of the crowd, Green Boy is trying to confront the crowd while an older woman, presumably the owner, talks frantically on the phone, keeping a worried eye on the crowd. Fiona and I edge closer to the front, the chanting still vigilantly on beat. Our morality is not for sale, protesting in one form or another is a thing you get used to in this city, here and all over Ireland, I expect. During the abortion referendum a few years ago, the streets were littered with photos of babies' hands, babies' feet, babies' heads, babies' anatomy, threatening through the street lamps. People with loudspeakers yelling about the rights of the child. Before that, it was the marriage equality referendum. Joan took me to the protest, where a man stood on a stage and talked about the rights of the family, the importance of marriage, the eyes of God. I held Joan's hand, and we shouted at him until we were hoarse. But this is different. This isn't a referendum, it's a shop. Why are these people so young? Why are they protesting about a clothes shop that sells occasional rubber harness and novelty bong? This kind of stuff has been part of the city for as long as I can remember. Clothes shops that sell photocopied signs and bad CDs at the till. Music shops that sell green legalized it t-shirts. The city is big enough to have a few different alternative scenes, small enough that most talented people in that scene eventually leave. Some of my earlier memories are of Pat coming home in a rage because the singer in his band was leaving to pursue a career in Dublin or London. It was always either Dublin or London. Then Pat left, and Gillian and Abby. Now it is just me and Joe. And I'm sure she'll be gone pretty soon too. Do you want to hold a sign? A short, toothy girl of about 18 is trying to shove a placard into my hands. It's just, I really need a pee, she continues. Piss off, I say, shoving it back towards her. She teeters, and Fiona puts on an arm out to stop her falling. She gives me a sharp elbow in the ribs. Excuse me, why are you protesting this shop? Aren't you protesting too? No, we like this shop. Well, do you know that they sell drugs to kids here? Me and Fiona look at each other in utter amazement. What? We say in union? Yeah, the whole thing is a front. Who told you that? It's all online. It was on the Facebook group, the COB group. She adds shortly, seeing our blank looks. Are you going to hold this or not? I really need to pee. No! The girl glares at us, tucks her sign under her arm, and stalks into McDonald's on the other side of the street. As my eyes follow her, I catch a flash of scarlet at the corner of my vision and feel a spark run through me. Rue is standing outside the McDonald's, staring at the mob with his mouth open. Our eyes meet. I put a hand up, palms flat, fingers straight, a gesture that is both I see you and I'm not a part of this. He watches me for a second, then looks away. A few seconds later, the girl with the sign emerges from McDonald's, looking furious. My guess is that they wouldn't let her use the toilet without buying something. She looks at Rue in his red bomber jacket, trimmed with leopard print, his school bag covered in badges, his hair long and curly. Everything in her body language is hotly, avidly disapproving. Leave him alone, I demand silently, my inner voice sharp and protective. Don't say a word to him. The girl watches him for a moment, spits on the ground in front of him, and then crosses the street to rejoin the protest. Come on, Fiona says. Let's get out of here before someone else or someone sees us with these nutters. Sure, I say. When I glanced back to find Rue, he's gone. And that was chapter 14. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care and have a beautiful day. And I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Thank you. Bye-bye.